Imagine yourself playing poker with a bow tie and your belly button exposed. And you get 4 aces. Wow, wouldn't that be great? What do a belly button, a bow tie, and 4 aces have in common? What if I told you you could improve your communication skills with those threefold, in just 5 minutes of watching this video? Would you stick around? Would you check if this video is actually 5 minutes long? Let's start with the bow tie. In general, when we communicate with people, we usually fall into one of the 3 traps, sometimes all 3 of them at the same time. Trap number 1 is we tend to speak in third person. For example, when people try to say, or it's common to do, instead say when we try to say, or I usually do. This way, we make it more personal and the audience can relate to us. The second trap is the use of formal language. We want to show that we are the expert and know the subject matter, so we get entangled with too many technical terms. If it's necessary, start with the formal, but finish with the informal summary of whatever the message is. The third trap is too much detail. This is usually very hard to avoid, especially when we are communicating something complex, like this message, this here. Speaker, I want to give you an idea in an image, and then later on, if you're interested in the details, we can find out more. And this is where the bow tie comes in. The bow tie helps us avoid these 3 traps. We're going to separate our communication into 3 parts. This is especially applicable to the online environment. First part is before the meeting, second part is during the meeting, in person or face to face, where we give the person the necessary minimum. And the third one is after the meeting. The before and after part can be done virtually using emails or online tools like Google Docs, for example. So, I've explained the bow tie. We still have to cover or uncover the 4 aces and the belly button. The bow tie relates to the general layer of communication. The 4 aces are related to meetings. Let's first talk about group meetings. Before the group meeting even starts, it's important for the moderator to ensure the psychological safety. This means the participants should feel comfortable sharing their ideas and concerns. We can do this by asking questions and request some deliverables. So, requesting the responses and reactions from the participants. Online, we can discuss some issues in breakout rooms. To achieve that, we are going to ask a lot of questions. There are 3 types of questions and 3 types of questions. The rhetorical questions are the ones we use when transitioning to another subject. Action questions are the questions I would use to make sure the participants are following and to get them engaged in the process. The discussion questions are particularly crucial in the virtual environment. They will often require the participants to produce or conclude something by the discussion. Otherwise, the discussion is fruitless. The second group of 3 types of questions are the yes-no questions, the WH questions, and if questions. Yes-no questions are the closed questions. They are the icebreakers, the rhetorical questions, the questions you use to get the specific information and facts. WH or open-ended questions help us understand the reasons and go a little bit deeper under the surface. They make participants feel important. If or strategic questions are the second conditional or hypothetical questions. They are going to nudge the participants into action. Now, you may say, it's not only the moderator who asks questions. The participants or the audience will do so too. That's right. What if somebody from the audience asks questions? Those questions are typically not posed to find out more about the information or more information, or to satisfy the curiosity, but to state the person's opinion, hidden among the words of the questions. The participant has a need to prove or show they know the subject matter, and they disguise these statements into a question. If I recognize that, I will show empathy through 3 R's: repeat, respond, relate. There's more to that, but I'm not gonna go into details here. Finally, in group meetings, we should always acknowledge the personal achievements in front of the group. Now you're wondering, where are the 4 aces? They're coming out of the sleeve right now. When we have one-to-one meetings or conversations aimed at resolving a difficult situation that require a little bit of diplomacy, we use the 4 A's. Address the pattern. And here we're gonna speak in the third person. The second A is admit. Admit your own shortcomings with the same pattern, so the other person can relate to you and feel safer. The third A is to assess. You want to ask and analyze why this pattern is occurring. And the fourth A is act. What should we do about it? And give the time constraint, some kind of timeline with the action plan. So the bow tie is the general rule. The 4 aces are specific to dealing with difficult situations, especially in one-to-one meetings. The belly button rule applies to the presentations. While presenting, the people are usually nervous. So in order to minimize the effect of nervousness, we want to show the belly button in the direction of the audience or to wherever we are speaking. If I'm talking to the right side of the room, my belly button is turned to the right, so I'm not gonna be turning towards my slides or away from the audience. While presenting online, we cannot show the belly button. Well, you will be wearing clothes anyway. Only your face will be on the screen. In that case, we will use the rhetorical questions followed by silence. That will be the belly button rule translated into the virtual environment. When it comes to presentations, there's another rule, a bonus rule for you, the lazy rule. This rule forbids me from overcrowding my slides or screen with a bunch of text. Don't serve your audience with everything you have, but beg the question. The slide should demand listening and attention. So don't answer questions, ask them. Don't give full sentences, give bullet points. And even lazier, reduce the bullet points to reminders, or just letters or acronyms that will invoke curiosity. And this is where the almond starts making sense on my lazy slide. The almond represents the so-called Area 47 in our brains, which is activated by our need to solve mysteries or puzzles. It gives us a lot of pleasure once we crack the case. And this third part of the lazy rule is that the picture is more powerful than words. Find the picture that begs the question. You're going to activate Area 47, remember the almond, and this will demand the audience's attention. They will be stuck to their seats, wanting to find out whether their guesses or preconceptions were right. And this is how the bow tie, a belly button, and four aces come together to give you excellent communication skills in group or individual meetings, offline or online. And yes, this video was not 5 minutes long, but you made it till the end. Congratulations!